Hey everyone, welcome. Today's recipe, we're making a no-bake white chocolate cheesecake with graham cracker crust. Now this was requested by Byron Chandler, so thank you Byron for the request. I do appreciate it, and if you have one yourself for me, leave it down below in the comments. All right, so this recipe is going to be made gluten-free because I know there's a lot of you out there that like the gluten-free recipes, and I'm going to show you the brand of graham crackers to use that I think is really the best. So I'm Rockin' Robin, and I'm going to show you how to make it right after this. We're going to start our recipe off by making our crust first because we need to prepare it, put it in our pan, and then put it in the fridge to chill. All right, so you're going to need a springform pan. I've got an 8-inch pan here, and because I've had trouble with my crust sticking, even though it's nonstick, I've decided to try out a piece of parchment paper that I cut out into a circle and I just put right in the middle. All right, so we'll see how that works out. We'll be experimenting. All right, so we take our graham crackers. Oh yes, and I want to mention that the graham crackers to use for gluten-free, you can use regular ones if you want, but gluten-free ones, you want to try Pamela's. They are the absolute best. They're just honey grams and they just have the best flavor. So I'm just going to throw them into a food processor. All right, so I'm going to add just a little bit of sugar. This is about a tablespoon, just to sweeten it up a little bit. And I like to add just a hint of cinnamon. Now this is optional. If you don't like cinnamon or you're not crazy about it like I am, leave it out. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit in there. And then we're just going to pulse this until it's all crumbly. So we'll pour our graham crackers into a bowl. Then we'll add some melted butter to that, and then we'll just stir it to combine and moisten all the crumbs. Now it's the butter in this that's going to actually firm up and make a crust once we put this in the refrigerator. So once the graham crackers look like wet sand, basically, we'll pour it into our springform pan. Now you want to use clean hands and just press this nice and evenly in the pan. And you can go up the sides a bit if you'd like as well. And we'll place our crust into the fridge. It's time to work on that filling. So we're going to start with our cream cheese. Now, leave your cream cheese out at room temperature for like an hour. Mine's been sitting out a good hour, so it's nice and soft and it's much easier to blend up with your mixer. And I like to use Philadelphia cream cheese. It just happens to work the best in my opinion. So that's what we're using. I'm going to go ahead and mix this up with my beaters before I add my vanilla, just so everything's nice and soft. So from there, I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla extract and some sugar. Now with the sugar, I'm using regular sugar. Actually, you want to use like an ultrafine or a baking sugar just because it dissolves nicer and easier into your mixture. And you can make your own, because that's what I do, right? You could use powdered sugar, but remember powdered sugar is a combination of sugar and cornstarch. Whereas what I do is I take my regular sugar and I pop it into my Vitamix blender and blend it for just 3 to 4 seconds, and I get a nice baker's sugar, which is nice and fine, and it saves you quite a bit of money, actually. So I'm gonna mix this all in, and I'm gonna add the sugar gradually until it's all incorporated. Now I've got 3/4 cup of white chocolate chips, and I like to use Guittard chips because they are the best. And we're going to place these in the microwave to melt them at 20-second increments on high temperature. And you're just going to want to stir it in between each 20 seconds until it's nice and creamy and smooth. All right, we're going to add the melted chocolate into our cream cheese mixture. And you just want to stir it in. Next, we're going to mix up our whipping cream. I have some heavy whipping cream here. It's organic. And we're going to place it in the bowl there, along with a little bit of vanilla extract and a little bit of sugar. And we're just going to blend this up. Just whip this up until you get some nice soft peaks. Once your whipping cream has reached some nice soft peaks, we're just going to fold this in gently into our mixture, because we don't want it to deflate too much. I want it to be a little airy. So take your time when you're folding it in. Just kind of start in the middle and just work your way around. All right, so now all we have to do is pour this into our little crust here. Oh, doesn't that look good? And we're just going to refrigerate this at least an hour. You want this to firm up. Oops, made a mess there. And then we'll just push this out to the sides and make it all nice and even. Now it's best to do this, refrigerate it overnight, because then you know for sure it's nice and firm. But I would say at least a couple hours. My cheesecake's been in the refrigerator only 2 hours. I'm hoping that it's firm and cold enough so that I can get it out of the mold here. So we'll see, all right? I was a little pressed for time, and that's what happened. So anyway, you want to run your knife around the edges to kind of release it, and just open up your pan. There we go. Look at that. It's a beauty. If you like cheesecake, you're gonna love this. Delicious, guys. Really delicious, really simple to make. And I wanna really remind you that when you make this in a springform pan, definitely use that parchment paper. It makes a world of difference, and your life will be much happier if you use it, because that's gonna come out in one nice piece. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video in my no-bake white chocolate cheesecake, I should say. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, be sure and leave them for me down below in the comments. Either questions, comments, recipe requests, I want to hear about it. All right, and if you would like to subscribe to my channel, we'd love to have you. So click the subscribe button as well as the little bell that's next to it. In fact, even if you're a subscriber, you might want to go back and re-click on that bell, because sometimes we stop getting notifications of when videos come out. Click that and you'll be notified. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. See you next time.